Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, the podcast. I'm joined by Seth.
Hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for finding us on the internet.
Now, these shows originally aired on Brookings Radio, but now they're all here for your enjoyment. I hope you like it.
There you go. Sit back, enjoy the show, relax. Let us know if you want to see anything on future shows. As we said, this comes out live in the Brookings area, but enjoy this archive episode.
Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Welcome to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. You know, I end each of these shows by saying drink local and drink responsibly. It's even on the t-shirts we've given away. So we've talked a lot about the drink local part today. Let's get into that drink responsibly portion. Seth Koch from Wooden Legs Brewing says, first and foremost, of course, craft beers and alcoholic beverage.
There's such a variety of beers and flavors, but also alcohol content. So just because a beer is not made the same, nor is it fermented the same, every beer has different potential alcohol levels. And just just to use the math of it, some of these IPAs are at 7 or 8%.
And that's about twice your average good old fizzy yellow beer.
So you have to be really conscious of that because some of those beers have higher alcohol content. Some people believe also that they're just the nature of craft beer, sometimes because they're unfiltered, sometimes some of the other aspects have a tendency to affect the consumer more. I don't know if there's a scientific basis on that, but I've had people at least say, one or two craft beers are far more liberating than even a whole six-pack of some other beers.
He says responsible craft beer brewers and pubs will be very upfront with the alcohol level of their beers.
Report the ABVs on their menu or on their chalkboard, and I guess that's just so that people that are enjoying the beers can be responsible about it. There are some beers out there that are 11, 12%. The other thing breweries will do is they will try to make sure the serving glass size is appropriate for the alcohol content.
That means a 10% Imperial Stout will likely be 10 ounces or less per serving. Now, maybe we should back up just a bit. Review ABV, alcohol by volume, the most common U.S. measurement of the amount of alcohol in your beer. Just for comparison, most of that fizzy yellow beer, your Buds, Coors, Miller, and the like, are going to be in that 4 to 5% range, while most wines are 10 to 14%. That puts most craft beer right smack in the middle.
There is some potency there. Usually when you went through your different classes or driving classes or awareness classes, just to understand the effects of alcohol, you would usually say one beer equals one shot equals one glass of wine or whatever. And the reality is for craft beer that probably isn't a safe rule of thumb anymore. So just pay attention to make sure you know what you're doing.
More drinking responsibly when Beer Untapped continues.
Well, now feed me in the bottle, bring me my running shoes.
Welcome back to Beer Untapped with Perry Miller, as we discuss drinking responsibly with Seth Koch at Wooden Legs Brewing in Brookings. Now, as we've learned, many craft beers can have double, even triple the alcohol content of your average American lager. If you're going to sample more than one, here's a bit of advice. Water is your friend.
If you intend to go out and try a couple of craft beers for the evening, we would encourage you to, but we also encourage you to do spacing, and water is if you go to a beer festival, you're going to have a bunch of small little samples. You'll see people that will have water bottles, and that's just it's just good, especially when the heat comes on this summer. Not only stay hydrated against the sun and the heat, but also it helps your metabolism. It helps you drink responsibly. We call them spacers, and that's what they're for. Just sit down and enjoy your beer, have your glass of water, enjoy the conversation, try another beer again. It'll make your evening much more successful and your morning much more productive.
And certainly the most important part of drinking responsibly, do not drink and drive. Have a designated driver or make other arrangements.
We've got great cab systems now in town that probably didn't exist before. When school's in session, we've got the Safe Ride Home program. I can sit at the front of my pub and see two different stops for the Safe Ride Home program. Make sure you use those. It's and even if it's nice out, take yourself for a walk. It's a great season. It's a great season to be out late. It's a great season to be outside. So make sure you're responsible.
From my experience, craft beer drinkers tend to be a fairly responsible lot.
Our bartenders are pretty good at advising people as well, so they'll let you know. Craft beer still has a large amount of potency to it. But thankfully, it isn't quite as concentrated as hard alcohol, and hard alcohol has the potential, if you're not careful, please be responsible, has the potential to sneak up on you real fast. But at least craft beer, there's some necessity of biology that will make you at least get up every once in a while and slow down.
Also, a reminder from Seth to check out Downtown at Sundown, the new Brookings music series with great bands, food, and more on 5th Street downtown at 5 p.m. every Thursday through August. Finally today, let's head to Brookings Liquor Store. Our beer guide, Drew Eklund, with some new beers to taste, starting with one that's become very popular very fast.
From Small Town Brewery out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. It's Not Your Father's Root Beer, $10.99 a six-pack. It's technically a beer, although it doesn't drink like one at all. It tastes just like root beer. Like it's alcoholic root beer, basically, and it's delicious. We just sold out, actually, and we're getting more. We should have more as soon as this airs, actually, so... Couldn't taste the alcohol at all. 6%. That's pretty impressive.
It seems to be just blowing up nationwide.
Yeah. I was surprised at how good it actually is.
What else we got?
From Deschutes, we have Pine Drops IPA, $10.99 a six-pack. Like the name suggests, it's like drinking a pine tree, basically.
In a good way.
In a good way. It's kind of a hop bomb. It's really hoppy, really bitter, and again, in a good way. Some lemon, some pepper, has a nice dry finish. Gets more piney as it warms up. The last one I have here is from Zipline. It's their German-style Koch, $7.99 a six-pack. Very reasonably priced, as always, from Zipline. Koch is a great summer style. It's light, it's carbonated, malty bread flavors, very subtle honey and fruit flavors as well. The finish here's dry and crisp.
That's it for this edition of Beer on Tap with Perry Miller. As always, drink local and drink responsibly. Thank you for listening to this archived edition of Beer Untapped with Perry Miller. Feel free to listen to other episodes, and if there's anything you'd like us to talk about on a future show, please let us know. Thanks again.